My quest for a ninth straight winning football season got another boost on Saturday with the 3-0 sweep, the five-dime trifecta cashing in, with Alabama easily over Penn State, also scoring with Michigan outright over Notre Dame, and the teaser coming through with Ohio State and Texas A&M. Hi everyone, Al DeMarco here, and this is going to be your Sunday video report. I'm going to break down your Sunday card for you, and I've got 3 free plays coming your way in just a moment. You know, case in point, something I've always said to you, the key to winning on a big Saturday card is being selective, narrowing down the card from big amount of games to a small select few. Maybe one game, maybe a handful like I had of just 3 plays yesterday that you're actually going to bet on. And I'll be the first to admit, as I always have, that when I was younger, if there were 42 games on the board, I'd find a way to play 46 of them. But I learned through experience and from frequent trips to the ATM to pay off my bookmaker when I was in my youth, which seemingly is getting further and further away from me as we do these videos, that was not the way to make money. You know, on Saturday's card, I'll give you an example. You know, I knew that I liked Michigan, who I gave you as a free pick last week. I liked them to win outright at Notre Dame, and I was all over Alabama. There was no way Penn State was going to compete because I thought the Alabama defense would be stifling, and it certainly was. But then I was looking for a team to tease with Ohio State. I love the Buckeyes at home, -2.5 in the adjusted 2-team tease price, but I needed somebody to put Ohio State with. And that's where narrowing down the card, selectivity, was so important. I considered Georgia Tech, but I just had my doubts about using the Yellow Jackets as a play I was going to bet on at Kansas, despite the fact that Kansas had lost the week before to a little sister of the poor school. I had also maybe thought about looking at another game, Oklahoma State at home against Troy State, but I knew that Troy State always had played Oklahoma State tough, and I wasn't sure if Oklahoma State was the real deal, even though they destroyed Washington State the week prior. So after about 2 hours of research, suddenly it hit me, Texas A&M, a team that I had not even considered on the board. But I remembered last year the Aggies made me a lot of money. I liked their quarterback, Gerard Johnson, as well. I looked at what they did in week number 1. They played a cupcake, but they blew that cupcake out. And I thought, how can they not, in the price-adjusted tease, not blow out their foe yesterday by at least 2 to 3 touchdowns? Game, set, match, hook them up with Ohio State to complete the 3-0 sweep. The moral of the story, again, you have to be selective on big cards. I have also many times told you that the first week of the season is the time you can easily make money because you truly have the advantage over the odds makers, and nothing has changed with that philosophy going into the first big Sunday of the NFL season. But there were a number of games that I liked today for my opening game of the year play. I don't count, even though I won the teaser with the New Orleans Saints and Temple on Thursday night as my opening game of the year play. And of course, as you know, I'm on a 5-1 run coming out of preseason football, and my 3-year record in the pros, well guys, if you scroll down the page, you can see it right there as I've won 20 of my last 30, and over those past 3 years, 360 dimes of profit. But there were a number of games I liked. Green Bay and Philadelphia, Cleveland and Tampa Bay. Also considered Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Tennessee, and Oakland. But finally, I settled on Dallas and Washington. The Sunday night game, that is going to be the opening game of the year play that I have won 9 of the past 11 years. And that's the one game that I am personally wagering on today. And that's why it's the only game that I'm releasing to you. No need to come with a plethora of games because this, to me, is simply the best bet on the board, and I'm going to ride it. Now, as for the other games, those I'm going to give to you here on a complimentary basis. Let's get to it. First of all, you know, how many times have I said you don't put good money on bad teams? Well, you've got 2 bad teams in Cleveland and Tampa Bay, but I'll tell you, one of them has to win, so it might as well be the Cleveland Browns as the 3-point road dog. In this case, you go ahead and buy up the half point and get Cleveland at 3.5 in this one. You know, I really focused on the Browns last year because I was doing their Cleveland Browns radio pre-game show. I was a featured analyst on it all year long. And because I'm also on Steve Dumig, the big dog, radio show every Friday in Tampa, I naturally focus on the Bucs as well. I just like Cleveland in this spot. You know, Eric Mangini, 17-10 against the spread as a road dog during his career, and the Browns have won or covered 5 of their last 6 on the road to close out last season. But the biggest difference between the Browns this year and last year is they have a quarterback. No more Brady Quinn, no more Derek Anderson. They got Jake Delhomme from Carolina. Very strong preseason, 72% completions. And keep this in mind, 2 factors. One, he is very familiar, having seen the cover 2 defense that Tampa still plays from all his years playing in division with the Carolina Panthers. And 2, he has a tremendous dog as an NFL starter. His record versus the spread, 27-13-1 getting points. Tampa Bay, they've only covered 1 of their last 11. Their rookie second-year quarterback, Josh Freeman, missed almost the entire preseason, only took 6 snaps before breaking his thumb. I like Cleveland to win it outright. I wouldn't play it on the money line, but I like Cleveland plus the points buying up the hook. Green Bay and Philadelphia. These are 2 teams that both have suspect offensive lines, some holes in their secondary because of injuries or inexperience, and 2 teams that love to pressure opposing quarterbacks. But the difference in this one is the experience that Aaron Rodgers has at quarterback and bring to the table over Kevin Cobb making his 3rd ever start and his 1st as the new official long-term starting quarterback of the Eagles with Donovan McNabb's departure. Plus, the Eagles' offensive line is in a state of disarray because of injuries. All the projected starters expected to play today. First time they didn't play at all in the preseason that way. Packers' offensive line couldn't give Aaron Rodgers any protection a year ago, but they are healthier, a little more experience, and I like the way they're playing through the preseason. Dom Capers is going to bring the heat and try to fluster Cobb in this one. You know, the Packers have covered, they went 8-4 last year as a favorite. Last year, by the way, I was on Chicago Tribune Live and Chicago Comcast, so I focused on all the NFC teams, NFC North teams. I went 10-4 with my Packers picks last year. 27-14 the past 4 years going on or against the Eagles. This one, you buy the Packers down the half point, down to 2.5. Go with Green Bay. They're 22-11 straight up during the Mike McCarthy era. And Andy Reid, 2-5 against the spread, his last 7 as a home dog. So again, I'm going to go with the Packers. Then Pittsburgh and Atlanta. You know, Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, suspended Ben Roethlisberger. He did not suspend the entire Pittsburgh Steelers starting defense, which returns all 11 starters, including a healthy Troy Polamalu. That is the difference in this game. Are you telling me the Atlanta Falcons deserve to be a 1.5 to 2 point road favorite just because Roethlisberger is out? Listen, the Falcons have never done anything in their history on the road. In road openers the past 23 years, they've won 4 of them. 4 out of 23. 3 times in that 23-year stretch. They have been a favorite on the road, 0-3 against the spread. Dennis Dixon is going to be asked to simply manage the offense, and he did a very good job last year in that emergency start in Baltimore. Manage the offense, rely on Mendenhall to run the ball. The defense of the Steelers will do the rest. I think they win this game outright as well. That'll do it for you today, guys, and I will catch you again on Monday with your preview of a great Monday night game. I could care less about the San Diego-Kansas City game. The game I can't wait to watch on Monday night, the Jets and the Ravens. Catch you then.